Hey, somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt. Now he takes off the shirt. He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs to the 50. He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms. Bare-chested. Somebody stop that man. Oh, they got him. Oh, they got him. They're coming from the left. Oh, they got him. Bang, bang, bang in his chest. Bang, bang. The guy is drunk.
Welcome to Fantasy and Chill Week 7. I'm your quarterback, Ryan Keller. Back after a week off. We had some scheduling issues last week, so sorry I couldn't come to you. But we are back this week to wrap up Week 7, talk about Week 8, and even hit y'all with some rankings. Joined as always, not as always lately, had some issues, but Ethan Hargrave back.
Back from the dead.
Back in the action.
Hey.
Family's all good? Nobody's sick anymore?
Yeah, it was pretty rough for a little while, but
Yeah.
we're doing okay.
It's good. Showing off the guns tonight.
They shrink it, man. I've been sick, so I haven't been able to get any gains. So we losing, but that's okay. We're going to come back stronger than ever. It's all good.
And as always, producer Matt.
So, this might be my last podcast after I win the Mega Millions tonight. Just warning y'all.
You wouldn't still do the podcast with us?
Fuck no. I'm
You
gone.
get us like an awesome studio, and we could like actually get pretty sweet setup, and
Yeah, sure.
that's what I would do if I won. You know.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna win anyways because we have a little pot at school going. So
We should,
Oh.
if we all own a ticket right now, we should just split between us three. I'm down.
I'll give y'all like $1 million, but
Okay, I'll take it.
okay. Agreed.
Ethan?
I'll
agree to
take
this?
whatever you just pay off my truck.
Well, you gotta agree to it too.
We'll call it even.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
I
be
mean,
a happy camper.
All right, let's go ahead and get started with our fantasy studs.
Fantasy studs.
Fantasy studs.
There it is.
I got it.
It's like someone always talks over it and we never hear it. Every time.
Well, it takes me a while, okay?
First fantasy stud for Week 7. Quarterback, your #1 fantasy quarterback. That's my quarterback.
That's
my quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes. 28 of 39 for 358 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Also finally added some rushing yards, 4 rushes for 45 yards. And I don't want to get too much into him here because he's going to be heavily featured in our next segment. Is one of
will
my
he?
top quarterbacks. Don't want to spoil anything. But, I mean, he's been far and away the best quarterback in fantasy this year. Maybe the biggest surprise this year in fantasy. I mean, people thought he was going to be like decent fantasy player, but not the #1 guy, I don't think.
Yeah, well, yeah, no one thought he was going to be the #1 guy. But
Hell no.
I don't know if we even had him. No one had him in our top 10. I'm almost positive. There's no way we had him in our top
Didn't
10.
have a #1 because I know who Ethan had #1.
I'll be dead honest, man. Well, I totally would. Well, dude, they're sending the dude out there with one lung, you know?
Oh, well, save it because I know we're going to have some issues with that top 10 list coming
Yeah.
up.
I'll admit it. I totally whiffed on Mahomes, but, you know?
Oh, my bad.
I'm man enough to say I made a mistake, okay?
Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad I
I'm
took
up
that
to it.
chance when I did after Week 1. I went ahead and pulled the trigger, picked him up on waivers.
Here's a question.
Glad I did.
When's he going to slow down? Is he ever going to slow down?
I think we've already seen his worst game.
Think so?
I
It
think
was
we've
at,
seen
let me
his,
see real
it
quick.
was
He had, like
Jacksonville.
16 points against Jacksonville. Was that it?
Yeah, I think it was 17 against Jacksonville.
Yeah, 16.8 in our league. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be his worst game.
Yeah, he does have a little bit tougher schedule coming up than what he's had, with the exception of Jacksonville.
But, I mean, like we talked about before, besides Jacksonville, maybe Baltimore, are there any good defenses in the NFL anymore?
Baltimore.
Like Denver
Yeah.
shows up every now and then. Chicago is decent, but I mean, Tom Brady just tore him up, so.
Yeah.
Titans.
That is Tom Brady, but it's also Patrick Mahomes. So.
The Jets.
The
Anybody?
Buffalo.
whoever's playing.
Buffalo.
Texans.
Don't get me started on that shit.
No, hey, I was gonna bring up that the last time I think we were all together was like 3 weeks ago at least, and we couldn't even talk about the Texans. We were so disgusted. Well, we got a first place team,
First
boys.
place team.
Nothing to brag about.
First place.
I'm sorry. Why am I not excited?
Because you shouldn't be.
What?
You should be more excited than you were 3 weeks ago.
I'm a little bit. It's just
You should be this excited now.
Cock tease, though. You know? Whatever.
This is the reason Bill O'Brien still has a job. Is because we're in a shitty division.
Getting first in the
We're gonna go
Special
9-7.
Olympics is still
We're gonna win the division.
Someplace, right?
We'll probably get matched up with some
The
shitty
Chiefs.
wild card team in the first round.
Actually, not the Chiefs this time.
First round bye. We'll have to play them in the second round and get destroyed. That's our tradition.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he's pretty
Hey,
good.
but we won the division.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
They have a lot of
We won the
weapons.
division, so we're doing good.
They have a lot of weapons on
yeah.
that team. So if he keeps feeding
He's
each
gonna
weapon,
keep it on.
yeah. Next.
Second fantasy stud quarterback. This is his second time to appear on this list this year. Another surprise.
Can't
Matt's
believe it.
boy.
It was only a matter of time.
Trubisky.
That's Matt the Prophet to you, sir.
Yeah, I was just 1 year
He
late.
is
He
26
was
Or 1 year.
1 year early.
50 times. 26 of 50, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But the surprising part that he's been providing a lot of lately is the rushing. 6 rushes for 81 yards. Oh, I had a burp there. 6 rushes for 81 yards and a touchdown. If you saw that touchdown run, he ran, I think they said 71 total yards to get like 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
for
crazy.
that touchdown.
I watched
All over
that
the
stuff.
place.
It was so hilarious.
Hell of an ending too. The Hail Mary caught 1 yard short.
Feels bad, man.
It was. I mean, if you actually watch the game, he didn't really have that good of a game.
He really didn't.
But fantasy wise, you don't care about that because what do you have? 300 something yards and then all those rushing yards as well.
33.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good fantasy day for you. And that's all that really matters. He was 26 for 50. That's
Anybody
barely
pick
over
him up?
50%. Yeah, if
Picking him
you're streaming quarterbacks, definitely an option. I don't know if I might pick him up this year.
He's up to number 9.
He's a streamer.
He's similar to.
Tell you what, it's like they figured out what they need to do on offense to score points because the first 2
That's
weeks
exactly what I was gonna say.
he played okay, but I don't think he broke 20 either week.
I think they did
Ethan's
straight act a fool.
Yeah, what, like 40 something, 20 something, and now another big game 30.
This is 3 straight games where he's had 40 rushing yards and 300 passing yards. And I think it's partly to do, Ethan's going to like this, to them using Tariq Cohen the right way.
Finally, somebody using Tariq Cohen. Unfortunately, I drafted Jordan Howard.
Oh, I thought you had Cohen. So
I do have Cohen too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's hurting.
He
It's hurting
was
Howard.
plugged in this week. He was for sure plugged in this week.
So yeah, big surprise there from Trubisky. He is like Matt said, if you're a quarterback streamer, he's a guy you can pick up, play against certain matchups. But like we said, he is a top 10 quarterback right now. He's quarterback number 9, and he's already had his bye week.
Yeah, he actually leads the league the past 4 games in fantasy points per game.
There you go.
Would not have guessed that.
Can't beat that.
I would have guessed 15 people ahead of him, even as a Mitch Trubisky truther.
Trubisky.
Yeah.
A Trubisky.
Truthbisky?
Trubisky.
Okay, let's just move on.
Let's go to our running backs. First running back, Kareem Hunt, 15 rushes for 86 yards and a touchdown. Also added 5 catches for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns. These past couple games, he's looking like 2017 Kareem Hunt. And with Mahomes throwing it to him, putting him in that offense, I mean, if you have any chief, you're feeling good right about now. But Kareem Hunt has kind of cemented himself back in that top 5 running back territory, where we weren't sure at the beginning of the season if he was going to be able to duplicate what he did last year, but I think he's showing that he is.
Yeah, I think it's partly to do with him catching more, because they don't rush the ball that well. He's only, I think, had 1 game above 90 yards. It was like 120. But he's scored 5 straight games now, so I think that's probably to do with him, kind of being up there.
That run he had the other night was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like a tackle, he broke out of it and then hurdled a guy. And...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he stiff-armed Vontaze Perfect twice. I thought that was poetic justice. That's or poetry in motion. I'm sorry. Yeah, it seems like he is the beneficiary of
For good offense?
A good offense, first of all. Second of all, that play that he scored on, or one play he scored on was kind of like an improvised deal where he was
the ball and then kind of just reached across.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was a check down, but it was like an improvised check down. It looked like
an emergency check down. No one was open in the end zone, so he's like, "Oh fuck it, I'll just give it to him."
Yeah, just here you go. So I mean, it's partly luck and partly skill, right? So
yeah, sounds like fantasy football.
It's perfect match, right? He's awesome to watch run. When he gets just a little bit of space, and even if he doesn't have space, he's a hard runner. I really like the way he runs. I really hope that he stays healthy because he's fun to watch.
So I've been trying to get Kareem Hunt from Britt since like week 2 when I picked up Mahomes, and he just never quite would go all the way with it. Always kept saying, "Let me wait till next week," and now he's considered untouchable by Britt. So that's fun.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, if there was one, sorry, I was going to say if there was one downside with him, so I was typing to a follower in chat. But if there was one downside to Kareem Hunt, it would be that if they just get up huge, then it's Spencer Ware time, and you kind of saw that last game.
It seems like they like to pour it on a lot, though. So.
As to my delight as a Mahomes owner, I was very happy they were still chunking it deep with like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I was so surprised with it.
They don't.
That one that Tyreek Hill just wide open dropped. It was like a 50-yard touchdown pass, 60-yard touchdown pass.
So I found out.
You know what? He cost me probably 4 points right there, and I lost my matchup by 4 points. So screw you, Tyreek.
Remember, I was texting y'all in the chat why they like ran the ball and why it was like a big deal that they ran the ball at the very end and they didn't kick the field goal or anything. Well, if they kicked the field goal, that would have hit the over. So there's a lot of people pissed. Not that I mean, Andy Reid had the under. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you don't kick a field goal though up 30 points with 3 minutes left.
Yeah, but if he scores a touchdown there, that looks even worse.
No, but you're just saying like, hey, we're just gonna keep running the ball. You know what's coming. Just
yeah.
You kick a field goal, like what are you doing? What's the point of that?
Right? You're winning people money.
Okay, our second running back stud. I don't know if we ever thought this name would show up. Matt picked him up off waivers this week. I had him in my waiver wire, but Matt was ahead of me and finally used his waiver claim. So good move by Matt here. Picked up Marlon Mack. 19 carries for 100. Return of the Mack? A little bit?
Hell yeah.
Well, you played like 2 seconds of it.
Well, you were talking. I didn't want to. I mean, give it a second.
Well, you didn't tell me you were going to not play it. All right, joke landed. Hey, Marlon Mack, 19 carries for 126 yards, 1 touchdown. Also added 2 catches for 33 yards and a touchdown, and a 2-point conversion. So, Matt, how do you feel about your new waiver claim? You didn't start him, but
I didn't start him because I don't like starting people coming off like an injury, even though he played last week a little bit.
Heard that.
I wanted to see what he had first, Yeah, I think he was on a snap count last week, and then this week he kind of showed what he can do. But I feel good about him. Good offense. Andrew Luck is back to his normal self, so I think they're going to be pushing the ball. He's going to be like Frank Gore kind of was last year, but more dynamic.
You know who I don't feel good about?
Who that?
Is it a Colt?
My little ace in the hole, Nyheim Hines.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
About that.
I was actually going to say...
He was doing good for a little bit there, but you can drop him now.
Yeah, he only played 26% of snaps, and if Mack keeps catching the ball, which I think he can do, Hines is just... He's going to become a 3-down back, then Hines is just going to fall to the back.
Now, if they ever go down big, like they were earlier in the season and had to catch up, then he might have some value, but as long as the Colts are, in control of the game, or at least within striking distance, then it's going to be all Mack.
Definitely agree. Speaking of Mack, someone asked in chat, should he, if he put a waiver claim in for Mack, if he gets Mack, should he swap him for Breida or Yeldon? In the starting lineup, I'm guessing.
I would say both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, Matt, Breida, like, how can you trust him?
You can't.
Gets hurt every game.
Can't. He gives him one carry and then he gets hurt.
Yeldon looked good for a while, but last couple, I mean, he caught a touchdown against the Texans, but if you watched it, he didn't do shit that game. He just caught a little lucky one-handed catch in the end zone.
The one thing you definitely don't want to have in your lineup consistently is somebody who isn't consistent with their playing time.
Wise words.
Great fantasy advice.
Kind of, that's why I avoid certain players all the time.
You're right.
Throwing it out there. Pro tip: you can't score points if you're hurt. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Plus, we should mention with the Yeldon side that Jacksonville did trade for Carlos Hyde, so I think Yeldon's days are numbered.
Yeah, I think they're about tired of him. Carlos Hyde, as long as he's healthy and like got a grip on the offense, probably will be the lead back going forward until Fournette's back. So
Later, guy.
Yep, it's not looking good for Yeldon.
Suck.
He'll let Hammy up.
Lucky for Turpin, he owns all 3 Jaguars running backs, so he's good to go.
Smart man.
Yeah. That was not the word I was looking for, but I guess you could use that.
Let's go to our receivers. Start off with one of my receivers, Emmanuel Sanders. He was 1 of 1 passing the ball for 28 yards and a touchdown.
I forgot about that.
Also added 6 catches for 102 yards and a touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders quietly is your number 3 fantasy receiver right now. Most people probably wouldn't expect that, but he is very quiet. 3.
He is good.
Because I've been trying to trade him for 6 weeks, and everybody tells me, Emmanuel Sanders, what do I want him?
I'd take him right now.
Number 3.
Not bad.
Yeah. He's clearly Case Keenum's favorite target. There's been rumblings about trading maybe Demaryius Thomas. I don't think they're going to do that. But Emmanuel Sanders is the go-to guy for Keenum. And they were up big in this game, so he didn't really get to throw it as much. But normally, they're not that great of a team. They're going to be probably down most games. So I would expect Sanders to keep feasting. And if they let him throw the ball every game, he's got a perfect passer rating.
Why not?
He did look good. He was someone I was trying to target in the draft, actually, but he went a little ahead of where I was trying to get him, and that's why sometimes you got to reach for people, even though I don't advocate reaching. If you have that strong of a feeling about someone, just grab them.
Get your guy, man.
Yeah,
Matt.
Get your guy. You'll regret it.
So, as a Emmanuel Sanders owner, talking to you, Ryan, are you worried? I've heard that they're not going to trade Sanders. There was talk about them trading Demaryius Thomas. Are you worried about either one of them getting traded?
I don't think they're going to trade either one.
I think they're holding.
They're hodling. Okay.
I mean, shit, they can easily make the playoffs in the AFC, so I don't know why they'd trade.
Exactly.
Yeah, just had to ask the question.
Aside from like 3 teams, everybody in the NFL is pretty shitty. So
hypothetically, he gets traded.
Texans, yeah.
Would you be worried?
I mean, depends on where he goes.
Exactly. I mean, say he goes to Arizona, one of the worst. No, not that Arizona would trade for him. No way.
How would that even make sense at all?
No, it wouldn't. But say he goes to a bad team.
What if the Texans traded for Tom Brady? Would you be worried?
Well, that's completely different. Texans are in first
No,
place.
it's not. Why would your comment was asinine?
No, I'm trying to go to one side of the spectrum.
Matt, but it makes no sense.
I know it doesn't.
Like,
I'm just asking how would you feel as an Emmanuel Sanders owner?
If you got traded to the Cardinals?
I'm trying to give the people what the value is for Sanders. Is he just reliant on the quarterback?
Land, so.
We know we are. Fantasy football land.
Right, but it's based on real world, Matt.
This is real world fantasy football.
%0 that would ever happen, so I'm not going to answer your...
Say he goes to the Redskins. To the Redskins.
Shit, what's the word I'm looking for? What's that? That's a clown question or what?
How about if he went to the Eagles?
If he went to the Eagles,
they aren't exactly.
that's a better scenario.
No.
Ethan. Thank you for
I said the Redskins. Redskins are in need of a wide receiver.
You did not say the Redskins.
No, I just said the Redskins. Redskins are in need of a wide receiver. They're in first place.
I'd feel okay with the Redskins. Alex Smith can sling it.
Okay.
Is that all you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Move on.
Second wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. He had 8 catches for 143 yards and a toe tapping touchdown with like 5 seconds left in the game.
Toe tapping trash time touchdown. Woo!
He started off the year pretty slow, but he's been pretty solid these last few weeks. And it's obviously like the only thing besides Saquon Barkley is the only thing they got up there. So I think he'll continue to put up numbers. They're just not going to win a whole lot.
Eli, man.
Yeah.
Eli.
Imagine him with any other quarterback.
Imagine him with
like
Tom
Brock Osweiler.
Brady.
Well, Brock's been slinging it too, so I don't know.
Brock looked pretty nasty, not gonna lie. But yeah.
But I said 3 weeks ago, like
Bonnie was talking shit about him. So
I said 3 weeks ago, don't be worried about Odell. He's gonna get his. It's just Eli's so bad. Even Eli finished as a
trade. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Eli finished top 7 this week as a quarterback, and if you watched the game yesterday,
he was so bad.
Or yeah, it was terrible. He almost had 400 yards too, and you would have never guessed
What
it.
was he like? Was he like 24 for 86 or something? It seemed like he missed like every other pass, if not every single pass, like 2 in a row, 3 in a row, every time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm trying to figure out if
he got 400 yards.
Yeah, he got 399. I'm trying to figure out if it's him or if it's their coach. Because Jesus, I could be a coach in this league right now.
The Odell owner in our league offered me Odell for Chris Carson and Cooper Kupp, but he offered it during the games last week, and so I couldn't accept it yet. And then Kupp got hurt, so he pulled it back. But
damn,
I would have for sure done
you would have.
I would have had Antonio Brown, AJ Green, Odell Beckham.
Just a plethora of riches and no running backs.
No running backs.
Yeah. No RB, man.
No RB's not working this year.
How's that no RB strat work?
I have my other league. Someone went no RB, and he's 6-1 right now. So.
Well, you know what, Matt? If everybody played teams like you every week, where your opponents are scoring 65 points, maybe I could win some games.
Got to play better. Got to coach better.
That was a roast of Turpin, not you.
I know. Okay, while we're on Odell real quick, someone asked, what do we think about Sterling Shepard, the other Giants wide receiver?
I mean, he had a great game yesterday. Caught a lot of passes, a lot of yards. Like a flex, maybe.
I think he's good flex. I think he's a wide receiver too in certain matchups, but you have to pay attention to read into the matchups.
It's like
it also helps if Ingram's out too. So.
It's like a poor man's Tyler Boyd in a way.
Yeah,
the number 2.
He's definitely rosterable. You should definitely should definitely be rostering him in your league, and you shouldn't be ashamed to play the guy, you know. And in a flex, and like I said, against certain teams, he's absolutely a wide receiver too. Yes, he has the ability.
Giants suck. They're gonna throw it
quick. Tight end. We have a tight end sighting. Trey Burton had 9 catches for 126 yards and a touchdown. He's really kind of been the beneficiary of Trubisky opening it up. He's had some good weeks recently, and top 10 tight end the rest of the way.
Is that a question?
That's a statement.
Oh, okay. Then I agree.
He was my super sleeper late round target. For the most part in this year's draft. I got him in a couple of leagues, but
he's currently on the waiver wire in our league.
I can't believe that.
Really? What the? I did not know that either.
I don't expect him to have the consistency of a Gronk or an Ertz or
no one does
like that. But I definitely expect him to have more good games than bad games. He's definitely like he's probably just like right outside of that A tier.
He's Trubisky's favorite target too. So
yeah, of course he is.
Scored 4 the last 5 games. I think he and Cohen are their best receivers.
Real quick, we do have a defense that made an appearance on the Fantasy Studs because they put up 35 points in our league. That is the Denver Broncos, who Von Miller said, I forget the exact quote, but basically he said we are going to kick the Cardinals' ass this week, and he was not wrong. They had three interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, 6 sacks, 2 touchdowns, and 10 points against.
And
35 fantasy points.
Wouldn't you know it? I had to make some space. I wasn't liking how they were performing. I like Jacksonville's matchup. So I dropped Denver Broncos. Didn't play him. This is me lamenting my. I should have listened to Von Miller, man.
Should have listened to Von Miller.
He tried to tell you.
Yeah.
Do they get bonus points for making a coach get fired or no? An offensive coordinator?
They should. At least like 1 point.
Yeah, because that
they
might
have
have
bench in our league too, Ethan. Nobody started him.
It just feels bad because I played him the week before. Yeah.
What did you win your matchup?
Sadly, no, I did not.
How? Oh, so it probably would have made a difference.
It would have made it. Yeah, I would have won. For sure.
Okay. So Arizona might be one of them teams that you can just stream defenses against them right up with Buffalo.
Well, they're playing the 49ers this week, so if you want to start the 49ers defense, then good luck.
No, I mean, if you have to, you might.
All right, let's get to the meat of this show here. We'd like to do this. We are about halfway through the fantasy regular season, whether you play 12 or 13 weeks, we're about halfway there. Well, we are over halfway there in our league. In other leagues, if you play 13 regular season weeks, you are right there. So we're going to give our top 10 rankings for quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers from now moving forward. Rest of the season rankings. All right, everybody good with that?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with, how do we want to do this? Because if we break it down one by one, we're going to be here for 3 hours. Want me to just say my list?
Yeah, we can throw your list out there and we can just...
Yeah, we can input our differences.
My 1 through 10, I have 1, Patrick Mahomes. That's a change. If we did this last week, I had these first 2 flipped, but he convinced me. 1, Patrick Mahomes. 2, Aaron Rodgers. 3, Tom Brady. 4, Matt Ryan. 5, Drew Brees. 6, Andrew Luck. 7, Cam Newton. 8, Phillip Rivers. 9, Ben Roethlisberger. And 10, Carson Wentz. So I know Ethan has already noticed that I did not have one name in my list. And I know he has him somewhere on his list.
Yes.
So let's look at those top 5. Does anybody have any difference in the top 5 of Mahomes, Rodgers, Brady, Ryan, and Breeze in any order? Are those your top 5 in a different order?
Yeah, Mahomes. I actually have Breeze at 2.
I have Breeze at 2 as well. I don't have Brady.
Mahomes 1.
And I actually have Matt Ryan ahead of Rodgers, which I think that's debatable. You can go either way with that.
Yeah.
I will say this: Matt Ryan at home is a totally different animal than Matt Ryan on the road this year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been his mode, but
the reason I have Matt Ryan ahead of Breeze, I just think the Saints are going to want to run the ball a little bit more going forward. So.
Depends on how their defense holds up, and they just got Eli Apple, that stalwart.
I looked at New Orleans' schedule, and they just have some. I think they play Atlanta. Let me see. Atlanta, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh. Like, those are all going to be shootouts, I think.
Yeah, there's going to be some shootouts. So, Kamara hopefully will be the beneficiary.
Yeah, I don't have Brady in my top 5 either, but we're pretty much the same.
No,
we all have Mahomes number 1, right?
No, I have Rodgers. I have Mahomes 3.
I didn't hear you.
Number 1.
I didn't hear you mention Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I had him at number 6.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's actually where I had him too.
Who else did you have in your top 5, Matt?
I had Rodgers, Breeze, Mahomes, Newton, Ryan.
Oh, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
You homer.
No, if you look at his schedule, he's going to have to throw the ball for them to win. So.
Okay, so we were a few little differences, but our top 5s were pretty similar. 6 through 10 is where we're going to have the differences, I feel like. So, once again, my 6 through 10, 6, I had Andrew Luck. 7, Cam Newton. 8, Rivers. 9, Big Ben. 10, Wentz. So, throw me out some names that y'all had that I don't.
Remove Phillip Rivers and throw Deshaun Watson in there.
Convince me, Ethan, because I
It's
can't
just
do
getting
it.
better. I'm telling you. He's gonna
Yeah,
be playing with two longs at some point.
He's getting worse.
Is he really?
Yes, he's a game manager now.
Your mom's a game manager.
The past
Dang.
2 weeks, he's had combined 15 points. Now they won the game, so they're not going to ask him to do much more as long as they keep running the ball and their defense.
I'm trying to save face, Ryan.
Look, I want it too, Ethan. It was so exciting.
I'm trying to save face. What happened to Deshaun Watson?
Preparing fantasy quarterbacks, I'm going Rivers over Deshaun
What
right now.
happened to my quarterback?
Okay,
This is what you did to my quarterback.
I'll say I have
Blame one
Watson.
person.
I have Watson number
Honestly,
9, but I regret not putting Andrew Luck because I think I might have just looked over him. So I'm going to insert Andrew Luck at number 9 and throw Deshaun Watson out.
Damn, just like that.
And I also have Jameis Winston number 7.
Jameis Winston was my number 11. He was my number 11.
They got to throw the ball, and if you look at the matchups, there's some juicy defenses coming up.
He puts up fantasy numbers.
No tits? No Trubisky?
It doesn't matter how bad of a quarterback you are, as long as you put up numbers in fantasy, I don't care.
I think Trubisky's just outside of my number 11. Right,
Trubisky has too good of a defense, though. They can rely on that defense some games.
but they can't run the fucking ball to save their life.
Neither can Tampa Bay.
They run it worse than the Chicago.
Exactly.
Let's go to running backs.
Wait, real quick though. So we all had Luck.
No, I didn't have Luck.
We all had. Oh, you inserted him now.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We all have Luck. We all have Cam.
Yes.
We all have Big Ben.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all have Wentz.
No.
You didn't have Wentz.
I don't have Wentz.
I had Wentz and Rivers. Ethan had Wentz and Deshaun, and you had Rivers and.
I think
James.
my Winston overtook Wentz. But other than that, it's kind of the same.
For me, it was kind of a coin flip.
Yeah, so very similar, kind of.
Yep. So let's get to our running backs. Number 1 is for sure we all have the same. So Todd Gurley is our number 1 going forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
We might have all number 2. My number 2 is Melvin Gordon.
Yes, even though he got hurt last week, I still believe in him.
I have Barkley because he looks like he's getting better and better and better, and he's the whole fucking team, by the way.
Yeah.
I have him number 4.
He caught about 20 checkdowns. So
Yeah.
I also have Barkley at number 4. At number 3, I have Kareem Hunt.
Same.
Kamara for me.
Ooh, I have Kamara way below that. I imagine Ryan does too. I mean, I say way below that. He's still my top 10.
Really?
I have Kamara at 8.
He had probably his toughest matchup he's gonna have all season, and he put up 16, 18 points. They gave him.
But he's just
what? He's just fucking Alvin Kamara.
He's not being featured like he was the beginning of the year.
It's not the talent that scares
game.
me. It's Ingram. It's how he has to share the ball.
It's been 2 games now.
Okay, look, one game.
2 games.
One game before the bye, they gave him a break. They said, "Thanks for carrying the load, Chief."
Okay,
So
but
here
this
you go.
past game, he didn't
Here's
set
the
the
break.
world on fire. He had 15 because he scored a touchdown.
He got more red zone snaps than Ingram got. Okay, they know what they got in Alvin Kamara. He's gonna be used correctly. They're using him. Half point PPR. Give me Kamara.
Well, I said I have him at 6. I have Zeke at 5.
Same.
Ooh, I have.
Wait, who'd you have at 4 though?
I had Gurley, Gordon, Hunt, Barkley, Elliott, Kamara.
Well, we had the top 5 exactly the same.
Who'd you have at 6, Matt?
Joe Mixon.
I have Joe Mixon at 8.
Why do I not like Joe Mixon?
You tell us. I don't know.
I'm not as high as him as I was maybe last. In fact, last week I had him at 8 last week too. But I mean, who else are you gonna put there? There's all this talk about the running backs being so beast, but like after those top kind of like 8 or so, they're really not.
What about Connor, man? Do you think they're just gonna dump him to the side after Le'Veon comes back?
No, but I don't think he's a top. You can't say he's top 10 if Le'Veon comes back and takes half his snaps.
Do you think they're gonna give him half his snaps?
I would. Bell's better.
I agree
The
with.
numbers would say otherwise.
Yeah. So let me go back to ask you this question. Why don't you believe in Joe Mixon?
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not Joe Mixon. Maybe it's just
The Bengals in
Cincinnati
general?
Bengals.
Yeah. Yeah. I see flashes from Joe Mixon. I'm get really impressed, and then sometimes I see him make like really bad knucklehead moves. Like I don't know if it's like a vision thing or what, or if he just underreads what's given to him. But he's athletically, he looks nice.
Yeah.
I just don't like the. I think the scheme, the offensive coordinator is going to limit what he can produce. That's just me.
All right, I
From
think
what I've seen.
he's one of the very few 3-down backs in the league right now. And I mostly base my decisions off the schedule. So he has 4 top 10 worst running defenses coming up. And I think that plays a lot into it. So it's the combination of him being a 3-down back and the matchups that are coming up, which is why I ranked him so high.
Okay.
Guy we skipped over.
I could be wrong.
My number 7 is Christian McCaffrey.
Wow, same. Even though I'm falling a little bit off that now, they don't seem to use him as much lately as they did.
After that top 6, I mean, they're kind of all the same for a while.
In a PPR, he's going to get his. He's going to have a pretty solid floor, so definitely top 10.
My number 9 is David Johnson.
I have him number 10.
And my number 10 is James White.
I think James White is actually had James White at 9.
I think with the Michelle, we don't know how bad Michelle's hurt, but he's definitely probably going to miss a little bit of time. I think they were going to sign another running back for sure because they just have Kenyon Barner and James White.
Mike Gillislee?
White even more now. So
Mike Gillislee.
Is he coming back?
Yeah.
It could be. I mean, he's out there. Yeah, I have, we were talking before we started up the podcast, that I had Steelers running back, fucking shoot me, at number 9.
You just can't do that because we're ranking individual players. So the reason you can't put either one in there is because you just don't know.
But you can. I'm saying if Le'Veon comes back, he's number 9. If he doesn't come back, Connor's number 9.
No, but you can't do that.
Why can't I?
Make a decision.
Well,
if I put one or the other,
well,
can't
then
interchange.
If you're making that rule, then I'm taking him out of the top 10 and I'm putting James White there. But if I
that's the rule.
Well, you don't make the rules.
That is the rule. I'm making players going forward.
I make the rules.
100%. If Le'Veon Bell's not coming back, then James Conner's top 10.
Yeah, but if Le'Veon
obviously 100%. If Le'Veon Bell comes back, then I think he's top 10.
Exactly. So there you go. You have 2 options.
So I can't speculate there.
I just gave you both options.
If Le'Veon comes back, they'd be like, "Oh, hey, look who showed up to camp, or who showed up to the team prep facilities. Thanks for coming. Hey, we still got James Conner. Oh, who's this? Oh, I think they're gonna feed.
You're gonna sit on the bench.
Yeah, but the thing is, they want to win, and Le'Veon Bell's the best back in the league.
They are in first place right now. I would agree with you if they were somehow. I don't know how they're in first place when they're 3-2-1 or whatever, but somehow they're in first place.
Because of the Browns, man.
Because the Browns want to go in overtime with everyone.
The Browns are tying everybody.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Losing games they shouldn't lose.
But I do like James Conner, and the other day Britt offered me James Conner for Jarvis Landry, and I said yes, and then classic Britt, he backed off.
Classic Britt.
Classic Britt.
How do you feel about how do you guys feel about Cohen though?
Tariq Cohen, I think he's in maybe my 14-15 range.
Yeah, I was gonna say around 15. In PPR, just PPR. Standard,
because,
no.
Yeah.
They still gave Jordan Howard the goal line carries yesterday.
True.
Cohen is a poor man's James White.
He's a poor man's Alvin Kamara.
Whew.
No, Alvin Kamara gets carries and actually gets yards with his carries. Cohen doesn't get any yards with his carries. Cohen is a wide receiver out of the backfield. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, good one too.
Anything else we want to hit on running backs? Have we not mentioned anybody y'all had?
I will say 2 weeks ago I had Jordan Howard possibly top 10. I am regretting that decision right now. They have good matchups coming up, but they're just not using
the
them.
change I made from last week was I had Sony Michel number 9, but obviously with the knee injury, I had to bump him out and move James White in there.
Yeah, he's been looking good though. So
You know who should be on this list but isn't?
Arian Foster.
Kenyon Drake.
Lewis.
Oh, Kenyon Drake, yeah. Yeah.
Kenyon Drake. Yeah, Dion Lewis had a nice little week for himself. Man, the Titans just look horrible though.
Yeah.
It's not Dion's fault. Dion, baby, ain't your fault.
Speaking of bad coaching, like, Jesus, how do you not kick the extra point at the end of that game and just go into overtime?
Doesn't matter, Matt.
Doesn't matter, because we root for the Houston Texans. Well, kind of in a way.
Oh, we enjoyed that.
Yeah.
What do you mean, kind of in a way? We root for the Houston Texans.
If O'Brien wasn't the coach, I'd be much more on board, but.
Matt, you had every chance to be Bills Mafia 2 weeks ago. We went to the game and you wore a.
Do I want to root for the Bills either? Who am I picking between the Bills and the Texans?
Shit, they almost beat us.
Yeah, that's my proving my point.
Hopefully, those listening, you tuned in a couple of weeks ago. We were live streaming at the tailgates, walking up to the stadiums. Good times. Good times.
Good times.
Good times.
Let's go to our wide receivers real quick. My number 1 wide receiver moving forward is my boy, Antonio Brown.
My boy.
He is, last couple of weeks, he's really gone back to classic Antonio. And I think he's going to be the number 1 the rest of the way. My number 2 is also my boy, AJ Green.
Oh, that seems like a bit of a homerish.
The majority of the targets in Cincinnati. I think he had like 15 the other day. My number 3 is your number 1 receiver, Adam Thielen. Number 4 is DeAndre Hopkins. Number 5, Devontae Adams. Number 6, Michael Thomas. Number 7, Odell. Number 8, Julio Jones. Number 9, Tyreek Hill. Number 10, Mike Evans. So fire away.
I think we're going to have the most variance in this list.
Yep, I agree.
Most of these guys after Brown, I feel like I could have done in any order.
I actually think that Thielen's going to be the number 1.
He's going to hold on?
Yeah, I think he's going to do it.
I have Thielen number 10.
He's got a big lead on Brown. It's got to slow down at some point, I feel like.
Maybe a little bit, but it just seems like he's just on a fucking roll. And he has a good connect with Kirk Cousins. I actually have AB at number 2.
Okay, so you have Thielen Brown.
Yeah, Thielen Brown. This is where it gets kind of murky. Like, I think that any of these guys, you could interchange them. That's Mike Thomas, Hopkins, and Hill. I think you can actually interchange those guys.
Yeah, I wanted to put Tyreek Hill higher. It's just I feel like the guys in front of him are more consistent as far as catching a bunch of passes. He relies so much on the big plays.
That's true, but he
usually gets them.
Big ass fucking plays, right?
But
he gets chunk yardage.
I mean, every single guy in front of him, Brown, Green, Thielen, Hopkins, Adams, Thomas, Beckham, Jones. I mean, they get, 15 targets a game, basically.
That's true. I like Devontae Adams in the mix. I think I had him like at 6 or 7. I can't read my list here. Right
I like Devontae. I got him at 5.
I mean, congratulations. You're Aaron Rodgers' best girl. Thank you. Julio Jones is actually, I saw a stat that he's like dead fucking last in red zone points or something like that.
It's pretty amazing that. Keep talking, Ethan. I'm looking at something real quick.
Yeah, he's like 7th in yardage and like 226. Like that's like dead fucking last in the league.
The number 8 fantasy wide receiver right now, and he has not scored a touchdown.
That's stupid.
That's amazing.
Now, for whatever reason, there's no love there, and I don't know if it's going to change. Could you imagine if he just had 2 touchdowns? Or
if he just caught a touchdown in half his games, if he had 4 touchdowns.
Sprinkled in there, okay? This guy would be a monster, but he's just a touchdownless monster at this point.
It's pretty crazy.
ODB, I think is kind of at the bottom, like closer to the bottom here. I mean, these are all top 10 guys. I think like I said, I think you can interchange all this shit. But that's just he's got so much talent. Could you imagine if he was with like Tom Brady?
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Anybody that could get in the ball without getting sacked in 2
You know what I mean?
seconds.
Yeah, or does it fall into the fetal position?
So real quick, I just looked, and if Julio Jones had 4 touchdowns, he'd be the number 3 wide receiver.
Oh yeah, monster.
Let me just ask something. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I don't want to hijack this.
So I have pretty much the same top 10. They're all scattered different ways. I have Thielen way behind y'all. I have him at number 10, but I won't get into the whole ranking because we all have him top 10, like we said. There was one guy I had that was top 10 that y'all didn't have, I don't think, was Brandon Cooks.
Man, I almost pulled, almost threw in there some Rams wide receiver. It's going to be somebody.
Whether it's Cooks, Cup, or Woods. All 3 of them have gone off this year.
Oh, they're all so good, man. Like, Cooper Kupp, I think, was like number 6 or 7 before he got hurt. Something stupid. Or 3.
He was thinking number 3, or he was
number
top
2
5.
before
Yeah,
he got hurt in that game.
I'm looking at his. He's like number 15, still in half point.
And he hasn't played in 2 weeks.
He hasn't played in 2 weeks, so that just shows you how good he was doing.
Yeah, in our league, he is number 15. Yeah.
Yeah, Woods has got to be up there, and Brandon Cooks has got to be up there too. They got to be.
Cooks also got hurt one game.
We haven't talked about Mike Evans is my number 10. Do you all have Mike Evans in there?
I have him like number 9.
Or 9. But I think like Ethan said and I said earlier, I think after Antonio Brown, I think AJ Green, is my number 2. But I think there could be an argument for any of those other guys we named for 2 through 10.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, I actually think that Juju could be on there.
Juju was pretty close to making it for me.
It's just
I've actually got him number 9.
It's so hard to have 2 guys in the same offense top 10.
But
if it was, it would be the Browns.
They can do it,
Yeah, or the Rams. I mean the Steelers. I was thinking Antonio Brown.
I think we're all forgetting one guy here. Well, I'm not forgetting about him. I think we're all forgetting about somebody here.
Oh God!
The Lord and Savior.
Praise the Lord.
Josh Gordon, baby.
Okay, Ethan. So you weren't on the week that he caught the 50-yard touchdown pass. We talked about it a little bit for you, but I mean, when's he gonna get it going? What's going on?
He had 4 catches for 100 yards.
Yeah, he did well last week.
I mean, he did pretty good.
He's done good, but he's not your league winner.
2 yards away. Not yet. He's getting there. He's getting acclimated. My sources are telling me better and better things each and every week. He's in the locker right next to Tom Brady. Okay. He's working on the offense. They like what they're seeing.
Let's put it this way: Turpin, whose team scored 65 points last week, has owned him for 3 weeks now, and he's still not playing him.
Sounds like he's a bad manager.
He did play like 85% of snaps last game. So what would you put that he gets top 10? Actually, I'll make it hard on you. Top 8 wide receiver the rest of the way.
He is currently your number 62 wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the pass, though.
He didn't really play all that.
The rest of the way.
With the Patriots, he scored 12, 6.7, and 13.
I think it's going to get better and better, though. Okay, I think he really does have top 10 potential. Top 8, woo! I mean, I think they can do it. I think he can do it. I think that
you heard it here first.
I think you do it.
Real quick, Matt, I did not hear you say Sammy Watkins.
I didn't say he was top 10.
I also didn't hear in the running back section. I didn't hear any Crow.
I didn't say he was top 10 either.
Oh, okay. I was just.
Isn't he like number 9 right now?
I said Sammy Watkins could possibly be a top 20 wide receiver, a wide receiver 2.
Remember our bet we made? He's never gonna get 17.
Yeah. Well, the next week he got almost.
Almost, but he didn't.
Listen, there's like 3 weeks now where if he caught 1 touchdown, he beats that.
Well, Julio's been saying that for 8 weeks. If I just caught a touchdown, man.
Yeah, well, Julio's bad. He ain't Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
And I drafted Crowell like 12th round.
He's on
so.
the best fucking offense in the league, and he's still not doing anything.
What do you mean? He's doing fine.
Should tell you something about Sammy.
Let's go see what fine means. Let's go look at
He
this.
was hurt 1 week, so you got to take that into account.
Oh, he was hurt. Oh, okay. Have you started me at Matt?
I started in my other league. He did fine. He got about 10 points.
I keep thinking you have him. Michael has him.
No, I don't. I was sticking up for Britt. That's the reason I talked him up a little bit, because Britt wasn't on. I felt somewhat the same about him. So
I mean, Sammy scored 17.1, 16, and 10.8, but he's also had 3.6, 0, and 2.7.
Yeah. Well, the 0 doesn't count because he got hurt.
Oh, doesn't count. Okay.
So he hasn't been terrible.
Okay, so wide receivers, we pretty much have all the same names, just different order, but we were pretty spot on in the top of our quarterbacks and running backs.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Basically, in our league, at least, if you own Todd Gurley, you're killing everybody.
Probably a monster.
Hopefully you took Todd Gurley and not Le'Veon Bell if you had the number 1 pick.
If you listen to me, you would have.
If you did it. Let's real quick get to our waiver wire, or as we
waiver
like to call them.
claims.
We missed it because we were talking. Sorry,
Waiver
Matt.
claims.
Waiver claims.
Waiver claims.
Oh, yeah.
All right, first 2 names. We had a big name hit the IR this week, Marshawn Lynch. Beast mode is no more.
Game over, man.
So we got 2
Game
names
over.
here, Jalen Richard and Doug Martin. Who would you rather have?
I'll take your mother, Trebek.
Oh, neither. But if I had to pick,
Well,
probably the muscle hamster, just because I think he's going to get the more carries.
Yeah.
Richard doesn't really get the carries; he gets the catches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hamster is. I mean,
Do we
if you're
need to
going
bring
to
out
touch that
the,
backfield.
Do we need to bring out the prayer from last year?
With the prayer.
Can't be any worse than last year. Last year was bad.
Ethan had the Doug Martin prayer last year.
Oh, was that about Doug Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he had to start in 1 week. I don't think it worked out too well.
No, it didn't, because I remember him averaging less than 3 yards per carry last year. So
Hey,
It wasn't his fault, dude.
Rewind back about 2 months ago, we had our preseason show, and I talked about surprise running backs that could step up from free agent moves. And I said, if anything ever happens to Marshawn Lynch, Doug Martin is going to get that opportunity, and he has a proven track record.
You did.
The Raiders are a dumpster fire, but watch out, because when Marshawn Lynch was healthy, he was still productive in fantasy.
Yes, Marshawn Lynch is also better than Doug Martin is. So.
Hey, take a shot.
Maybe.
Hey, if you got nothing to lose, take a shot.
At least pick him up. You can pick him up.
Yeah.
Pick him up.
They should both be owned.
DeAndre Washington is also going to make his debut. So there's 3 guys there.
End up probably winning the job. Honestly,
yeah, you're not starting any of them this week. I don't, or actually they're on bye. So
we're in a wait and see period here.
These are,
See what happens.
These are speculative ads.
They might lose about 5 more players by next week too. So they're trading everybody.
Let me ask a real quick question from YouTube. Raul Martinez says Cobb is said to be back this week against the Rams with Kupp hurt and questionable. Is this a good roster switch?
Randall Cobb.
I'm guessing insert Randall Cobb.
Wait, roster switch? Like drop Cooper Kupp for Randall Cobb?
You're not dropping Cooper Kupp. I'll just answer that for everyone right now.
Cooper Kupp. When he was healthy, he was the number 2 wide receiver in fantasy. His injury,
So let me just.
He's going to play this week, but if he doesn't play this week, he's for sure back next week, and his ceiling is a lot higher than Randall Cobb's.
I'll make the question super quick, yes or no. If Cooper Kupp plays while he's questionable, do you play him over Cobb?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think the coaching staff is going to play him unless they feel like he's going to be productive, because he's really having the wide receiving core they have is a total luxury. So they don't really, when they're all 3 on the field, any of those guys would be number 1 receivers, is what I'm saying.
Agreed.
But let's go to the Packers, and I think Cobb is at best the 4th option there. So
Yeah.
After Adams, Graham, and Allison.
Allison, then
Geronimo.
And they got
the
Valdez
two
Scanlon,
rookies
who's
and-
looked good.
Yeah, I think Cobb's kind of gone on a favor.
Yeah, I don't think he's not the guy anymore. So I would do not drop Randall Cobb for Cooper Kupp. Do not.
You mean opposite? Do not drop cup for cup.
That's
Keep Cooper Kupp, eh?
All right, let's go.
Next guy, Sonny Michel is going to be out for the foreseeable future. So Kenyon Barner is next guy up. What do you think about Kenyon Barner? This
Band-Aid.
week, he's going to probably get the majority of the carries.
Band-Aid.
You're saying someone's going to get the majority of carries when he's a Patriots running back? I don't trust that at all.
There's two options, Matt. There's two
Yeah,
options.
and I would much rather start James White, obviously. So
Well, they're going to obviously throw it to James White more than probably Kenyon Barner gets carries. But as far as running back carries go, I think Barner will get the most.
You may be in a situation where your running backs have bye weeks coming up in the next couple of weeks, and it may not be a bad thing to grab this guy, just as a filler.
And also, what would be the most Patriots thing to do? When they get to the goal line 3 times, give Kenyon Barner 3 1-yard touchdown
Why
runs.
not? Why not?
if you're desperate, I can see it, but I wouldn't feel safe at all.
Like Ethan said, with bye weeks and injuries, he's not a bad spot start, I think. For
He's
this
a good Band-Aid.
Sure.
He might be the best Band-Aid on here.
We'll see how they use him. I'm betting they pick up another guy. Like Matt said, there's a high chance they sign Mike Gillislee back just because he knows what to do in that system. Honestly, wouldn't surprise me if somehow the Garrett Blunt ended up back on the team somehow. So
Yeah,
since they like to just go get him every year.
I agree.
And they're saying that Michelle's injury is not as bad as they thought. It might only be like a 2-week injury. So
That's what I'm saying, man. Just get him for a good filler.
how about this guy, Tyrell Williams? 2 weeks in a row, he has been catching bombs. In his last 2 games, he has 7 catches for 236 yards and 2 touchdowns. 33 yards a catch.
The thing that I don't like about it's either him or Mike Williams.
About to say, replace his first name with Mike Williams. Mike Williams had a 1-yard catch for 50 yards and a touchdown last week. So
But Tyrell
or
Williams,
not 1 yard,
more
one.
volume, you know?
Yeah, barely. He's had 8 targets over the last 2 games. So they
He's
just
making
have
most of them.
they have too many weapons there. That they have him, Travis Benjamin, Mike Williams, Melvin Gordon,
Austin
Eckler. It's just Antonio Gates. Like, you don't know. You're not safe starting
Yeah,
him.
it's kind of like the Rams, except for take away Eckler and put, you have another wide receiver.
I say you can pick him up though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, deeply got. I
I
can see it.
Yeah.
We also said pick up Mike Williams early, and look what happened.
Yeah, Tyrell Williams, or just drop Mike Williams and pick up Tyrell Williams.
There you
LaShawn McCoy is probably going to be out this week with his head injury / it looked like he messed up his ankle too, but they said head injury. So the last time McCoy was out, Chris Ivory stepped in and played pretty well. So Chris Ivory, spot start this week
I like whenever Chris Ivory
against the
runs.
Patriots.
go.
I don't like the team that he's on. I like the way Chris Ivory runs though. He runs very hard. I just don't see it though.
Somehow he got 16 carries when they were down. That way they scored 5 points the entire game. They were down like they lost 30 something to 5. So I don't know why they're giving. This is the worst offense in the league. Like, there's no doubt about it. Worst offense in the league. They're not going to be running the ball that much. Well, at least I thought. And somehow he gets 16 carries. Yeah, I don't know.
If you're in a bind now against the Patriots, I don't know how much opportunities he's going to get. 'Cause I
Yeah.
expect him to go down pretty quick. But if you're in a big bind, maybe spot start.
Yeah, they might just run the ball because they want the game to be over quicker. So
Would you rather start Kenyon Barner or Chris Ivory this week?
well, you tell me Michelle's going to be out or no?
Michelle and McCoy are out. Who would you rather start?
Barner. And I'm not happy about it.
Ethan?
Barner.
Yeah, I think
Because
we're all pretty...
I think he can
Eh,
get,
it
like you
was
said,
Barner.
I think you said he can get that 1-yard touchdown. So
And the odds are Patriots are going to be up big. And what do you do when you're up big? You run the ball. So
yeah,
And they have a better offense. Just saying.
Raheem Mostert.
Mozart.
Looked pretty good the last 2 weeks after supplanting Alfred Morris as the number 2 guy in San Francisco. He had 11 touches this week, and since Matt Breida gets hurt every game, I think he's going to continue to be a part of the offense.
God, if Breida could just stay fucking healthy. He's the...
So is
Poor Breida filter.
Raheem worth a pickup?
I think so.
I think he's going to take the place of Alfred Morris if Breida comes back healthy. Oh, yeah. That's a big if.
If.
He's looked good. He gets, like, burst yardages, so... I mean, San Francisco's offense is shit, too. Fucking beat hard, can't throw the ball to his own team, so...
The Saints' new vertical threat, Traquan Smith. Ted Ginn has been placed on the IR. Traquan Smith has stepped in. He's the one who caught the historic Drew Brees pass the other night to break the record. He's fast.
He fast.
And after Michael Thomas, I think he was searching for kind of that. And I think he found him in Traquan.
I think he's a very good speculative ad at the moment.
Yeah.
They had a really tough game against the Ravens, which was, he didn't really show too much, but he did get in there.
I think he has like the same type of outlook the rest of the way as like a Deshaun Jackson.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
I think on turf he's gonna be better off.
So he might have that week where he scores 20 something, but he's also gonna put up his 2s and 3s.
Boom bust guy, matchup guy, but could help you win some games.
There you go.
Okay, what were you gonna say, Matt?
No, that's it. Let's move on to.
This next one pains me because, like everybody knows, I am hurting for running back since Devontae Freeman hasn't played all year and he's out. So I thought I struck gold with Corey Clement a couple weeks ago. I thought he was going to be my guy going forward. But what do the Eagles do? They say, "Fuck you, Corey Clement. We're going to give the most snaps and touches to Wendell Smallwood." So Wendell Smallwood back on the waiver wire.
Yeah. Eagles can't run the ball.
Probably back this week. So
don't pick up an Eagles running back.
Would you rather have Wendell Smallwood, Corey Clement, or Darren Sproles?
Jay Ajayi, give me the 0 points each week.
Well, at least you know what you're getting, right?
I still want to believe that Clement is the best guy there.
Clement had 8 carries for 6 yards, I think. No.
Yeah, he only had 1 catch, too. It's killing me.
They just don't run the ball. They're up 17 points, and they don't run the ball.
If either one of Corey Clement or Alex Collins just did anything, I would have won my matchup this week. But they both got 5 and 3. That's my running backs, people. That's what I'm working with over here.
Let's move on.
Bad, man. Hey, but how about the wide receivers?
Wide receivers are great. They're putting up 20 consistently. But I'll take my team last year any day where I had 3 top 10 running backs.
Standard.
Yeah, it was a lot funner, wasn't it?
A lot funner, yeah, man.
Funner.
Good times.
What about Danny Amendola?
What about
6 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown? He gets to play the mighty Texans this week with Brock Tober throwing in the ball.
Revenge game.
The Texans, anytime they play a receiver with the pulse, they usually perform pretty well against this, especially slot guys. We are terrible at covering slot receivers. Even the game against the Jaguars last week, Keelan Cole, like he was getting the targets, they were just hitting him in the hands and he was dropping them.
Yeah.
So Danny Amendola could have a decent week this week.
Yeah.
Spot start.
Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills is now. Albert Wilson got hurt.
Devontae Parker's agent complaining about how he's not playing.
Yeah.
He might play this week, but like Ethan said, spot start. I can see it.
How about in Washington, the Chris Thompson replacement, Capri Bibbs. 4 catches for 43 yards and a touchdown. Basically, if Thompson's out, Bibbs is playing that role.
What a name, Capri Bibbs.
And I think they think Thompson's playing this week. But if he's out again, then Bibbs is going to do the same thing. Get those catches.
Where do people come up with these names, man?
I'm not going to get into that, Ethan.
Yeah, let's move on before we get in trouble.
Get him, Bibbs.
Speaking of a great name, what about Ito Smith?
The Judge, brother. That's actually a freaking awesome name. Are you kidding me?
Awesome name,
Yeah,
terrible
good.
running back.
I don't think he's that bad. I think that
I like him too.
The matchup was actually pretty. I got him rostered right now. If anything happens to Coleman,
They got a bye this week, so I figure over the bye they're going to try to figure out what the running back situation is going forward. I still obviously would rather have Coleman, but Ito Smith had 9 touches last night. He's pretty explosive, so he's worth the roster spot.
Absolutely.
Especially if you have Coleman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we mentioned earlier, the Raiders are shipping everybody off, so they just traded Amari Cooper. So our boy, one of Fantasy and Chill's favorites, Martavis Bryant,
Amari,
steps in. Can he finally be productive for the first time in 3 years?
Welcome, Martavis.
No.
No. Next.
Yeah, no. Just no.
Someone's got to do something up there.
Burn me once.
Jordy.
Shame on you.
Jordy. I forgot about Jordy. Okay, what about, we've talked about in the last few weeks on here, but Baker Mayfield is in his run where he's playing these terrible defenses. He had 20 points, and he's got like Atlanta coming up. He's got Pittsburgh.
Bye-week filler.
Someone else bad.
Bye-week filler.
There's too many other quarterbacks I'd rather have over him that are probably on the waiver wire. Jameis, Trubisky.
Yeah.
Then you can find streamers that are just better than him.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
real
like
quick.
12 serviceable quarterbacks right now.
Yeah.
This guy I think has been on the list every week, but Chris Godwin.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If Chris Godwin has one game where he scores 20 points, he's picked up immediately. But because he hasn't had that game yet, he's just still on the waiver wire every single week.
But what he has had is he's had 4 games with at least a touchdown and 4 games with at least 5 catches.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, he should be owned, but he's just not for some reason.
He is the Marquise Lee of this year.
That was
Every week.
Marquise Lee.
Just always on the waiver wire.
We should have a waiver Hall of Fame or
A
something.
waiver Hall of Fame.
Waiver
Mark.
Legends Hall of
Chris
Fame.
Godwin.
This year it belongs to Chris Godwin.
Remember last year it was always Wayne Gallman too.
The running back. Him and Darkwa.
Him and Darkwa, yeah.
Where are they now?
Yeah, that could tell you something at that point.
VH1. This is gonna be on VH. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We're gonna add
Behind
that.
the
I like that
waivers.
idea. Behind the waiver.
Wayne. All right, this is waiver wire. I just had flashbacks
Oh man.
every week.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, Matt's got to get to his basketball game. So we got 3 tight ends. You know how tight ends are. First of all, they keep getting hurt. Second, most of them just score like 4 points every week. But we got CJ Uzoma. He is playing because of injuries to Eifert and Croft, and he had a touchdown again this week. Jack Doyle.
Jack
should be
Doyle
back
kind of
this
looks like
week.
you.
Eric Ebron's been holding down. Looks like me.
Yeah, a little bit. But he has
Let me see this.
he has brown hair.
He'll be back this week, and when he's healthy, he has 15 targets in 2 games. But Eric Ebron's done a good job there. I'm pulling up the picture real quick.
It's all good. In this picture, I see he kind of looks like you.
Yeah, if I grew out my beard pretty thick,
I said.
I can see it.
I'll have to show you the picture afterwards. And then we have Ben
Oh,
Watson,
I'm looking
right?
at the picture. Yeah, Benjamin Watson, who I
Out
just
of-
wrote. He's the starting tight end on a great offense.
That's all you need to know.
And Breeze targeted him quite a bit last game, so
Out of those 3, who would you pick?
Jack Doyle.
Jack Doyle for me as well, Ethan.
I'm gonna go against the grain. Say Watson.
Okay.
But tight end, I have Ingram and Rudolph. They both suck now.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna make a play for Trey Burton.
Feels bad, man.
I can tell Matt that because Matt has Travis Kelce, so.
Yeah, I'm not picking him up, so. Yeah, I was surprised Trey Burton's even on our waiver wire, honestly.
Austin dropped him because he has Ebron.
Well, that ain't going to be good if Doyle comes back.
Yeah. But that is it. We ran through our rankings, got the waiver wire. Any closing thoughts real quick before we head into week 8? Real quick, records update. Ethan, what's your record in your main league?
5-2.
Matt is also 5-2.
5-2.
A couple lucky wins under the
belt. It ain't luck, man. It's
Matt
all
scored
skill.
87 points this week in a half PPR league.
Doesn't matter.
Won.
Wow.
I scored 132 in the same league and lost.
That's an awesome feat. Not gonna lie.
So guys, I'm 2-5. Defending champ over here, really struggling due to my lack of running backs. But there's still time.
Lots of time left in the season.
I'm only
There's
2
plenty
games
of football.
back on the playoff spot.
Whatever you do, no matter where you're at right now, as long as you're not like 7-0 or 0-7 or wherever you're at now, I can't do math.
You have a chance.
You have a chance. Once you start, the only time I ever start panicking in fantasy during the season is whenever I get to about 5 losses, and that's only happened twice.
Yeah.
So,
Ryan.
Oh, hey.
No, I can still go 7-5, which that was my record last year. When
Absolutely. That's the thing. Like, just don't give up, man. Sometimes things just take a while to get going, and kick up and turn around, turn over. Sometimes people that were juggernauts end up having injuries like I had, or, bye weeks are coming up. You never know what's going to happen. So just don't give up. Keep playing.
On that note, I'll say this: as we get later in the season, as people start realizing their teams maybe suck or they're out of it, less and less people are going to be paying attention to the waiver wire and things like that. So make sure you're still hawking that.
It's good advice.
Yeah,
Check it every day. You never know when Alshon Jeffrey's going to pop up.
Yeah.
All right.
One last question, real quick. Old Chase, fellow friend of the show,
Chase McCase
says, been riding the Murray train these last 2 weeks. Should I be aggressively pursuing Cook even though he has a hamstring injury?
He said he has Murray.
Yes.
I, instead of getting Dalvin Cook, would try to trade Murray to the Cook guy.
I think I agree with that as well.
Because Cook worries me. He's hurt every game.
Getting rid of players to pick up an injured player, and I'm a Cook owner too, is a little risky. So,
especially since hopefully that Cook owner in that league is pretty desperate to get somebody to fill in for him. So I would try to give him Murray and get, depending what your needs are, maybe a receiver back for him or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Cook is damaged goods. So, one thing that's kind of not fantasy football related, I just kind of want to put this out here, is this weekend, the League of Legends World Championship is taking place. Okay, I just want to tell you this because it's awesome. This is the best. This is the best esports shit I've seen. This is the best worlds that they've had ever. Like the meta is awesome and everything. It's really awesome because there's all the Korean teams that usually smash, they all got knocked out this year. There's actually 2 European teams and an American team in there.
USA.
Yeah, C9 baby, Cloud9. Here we go. Cloud9 is, and actually this Sunday at 3 a.m. If you're
Sunday,
feeling for something to do. Cloud9 will be facing off against Fnatic in the semifinals of Worlds, which is actually a huge deal. So, anyways, it's really exciting, really fun to watch.
In those last 30 seconds, our viewership went from 12 to like 0.
Don't give a shit. It's my time. It's free time.
That's fair. You asked for closing thoughts.
Anybody that knows me knows that I play League of Legends, and I'm a nerd like that. So I think it's a good game. It's really fun to watch. Even if you don't play the game, it's really fun to watch the competition. If you like competition,
there you go. If you're down on your fantasy team, go watch some League of Legends.
Fuck yeah,
League of Legos.
Gamble on that shit.
But keep trucking along. Keep hitting that waiver wire. Keep paying attention. Like Ethan said, unless you're like 0-7, you still got that chance. So good luck to everybody this week.
Hey Ryan,
and what?
Where can they find us?
Oh yeah, thank you, Matt. They can find us on Twitter at Fantasy and Chill, on Instagram. If you do follow us on Instagram at Fantasy and Chill, it has been popping off lately. Got a lot of good content on there. Keep asking us questions in the DMs. Me and Matt have been answering them. You might get some live stream action on there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fantasy and Chill. Subscribe on the podcast app, Fantasy and Chill. Just basically everything Fantasy and Chill for all of your fantasy needs. And good luck in week 8. Hopefully you can pull it out and start making your march to the playoffs. We out.
Rack 'em.